Hello, it is I, Dr. Brian Lorgon 111, and welcome back to Blueprints. I just started. I drafted the hovel outside, and I don't believe I'd noticed this before. 2 wings, 9 ranks, 45292. Coincidence? Where is room 46? Tested my full house theory, no luck as expected. Did I see this before? I don't think I took a screenshot of this. I don't think I saw this before. What is the 45292? I've seen a few 5-digit numbers as like street addresses and zip codes and different things. It's also written in colors. I'm not sure what to make of that, but there's definitely something going on there. Also, there's another date. Recall that the hovel is the place that the old groundskeeper got fired from, and it makes it so that I'm going to be spending steps rather than rubies, so I really need to make sure I try to get tons of food today if I can. Okay, but I'm getting started. Once again, my goal is to draft the pump so that I can get some water out of the reservoir, so that on a future day I can go through the tomb and actually take the boat across and possibly be able to connect some more stuff underground. And I'd forgotten that the step requirements are basically... Are they triple? Like 3 steps is instead of 1 gem, possibly, or something? So that is challenging. Hey, here's the pool. Not too far in. Here's what things look like so far. So now I just need to find the pump, if I can. Well, I got the dumb rumpus room again, so you know the drill.
Faintly in the mist.
Okay, what do we have here? That's interesting looking.
Statue cradled in a courtyard of sentinel stone.
That's a statue I haven't seen before.
You will find yourself one day wandering these paths,
Pentagon, both moats and core.
walking in the footsteps of the past, wandering and waiting, searching for a shadow that will never be cast. Longing for the day to end, the hours to pass.
Something about time isn't moving.
Has been
I'm not
foreseen
sure what I'm interpreting there.
by the great Alzara.
Eventually I'll kind of watch these all back to back
The following day,
and see if I get any information out of them. But for the moment now, it seems like this is a diversion and not something that's actually helping me do anything in the game. Hey, I got the bump room! Okay. Winner, chicken dinner. Can I go down and see the reservoir? I guess I can't, can I? To know if 1 is enough. And the only place it could be pumped to is the fountain, because these are full. Okay, so I have to pump, and I have to pump a small amount to the fountain also. How do I do that? I guess maybe if okay, so if I switch it to the fountain, and then I pump out of, which one goes to number 1? I guess this. Alright, water's going into the fountain, and then can I turn it off? Oh, I can't. Can I turn it off now here? No, so it's also, I can only do units at a time, so trying to get 1 out of the reservoir is actually a challenge. So it's like one of those, you have a 3-cup measure and a 5-cup measure, and you need to measure 4 cups kind of deals. Okay. I know how to solve such puzzles. It's going to be tedious. I will do it. Okay, I emptied this into the fountain. I moved the kitchen into it, which is only 3, so there's only 1 left. And so now, if I switch to the reservoir and go ahead and turn this pump back off and turn this pump on, that should pump 1 out of the reservoir into here. So, the reservoir should be 1 down from where it was. Hopefully that is the correct amount to get at the boat. And I'll have to wait until I draft the tomb on a future day to find that out. Alright, well I managed to draft the library, which means we get to read Drafting Strategy Volume 5. So, let's do it. The Death of Drafting. Okay, we're going to look into dead ends and cutting off your house. No exit strategies. Every house needs some dead ends. Okay, this is interesting. Each dead end an architect drafts removes that from the draft pool. The more dead ends you draft, the less likely you are to draw them later on. So you have to spend them in a way that doesn't cut off your house's potential. Yeah, an ideal spot for a dead end. And I've done this a little bit, but haven't been thinking about it this explicitly before. Try to fill up every open slot of your house before moving north. Okay. Grave mistakes. Yeah, the tomb. Oh, and here it names another of the angels, Vea, in the bottom right. I know 3 angel names so far. I didn't actually witness the money being spread into the tomb before, but maybe I just didn't look around very well. Alright, grounds for termination. Alright, I've used all of these rooms before, and I don't know that I've learned anything new just there. But this will teach me something new. At a glance, all the blessings seem relatively minor, but I'll have to think about them a little bit more. In any case, it's good to know. Top 5 dead ends. Yes, the attic. I've been trying to draft the attic intentionally in the bottom corners of the house because 8 items is just super valuable. And with the rook power, I get to redraw that room 4 times. And the secret passage counts as a dead-end room, even though it goes straight on through. So that's kind of cool. Mail-in sweepstakes. On January 20th, 1989, okay, another date, Taro Martinez shocked the world, drafting 19 dead ends in 1 day. Can you beat his record? If you get 20 more dead ends, you could win 200 gold. And the trophy of sweepstakes. And then if I had the magnifying glass, I could read all the text on the bottom. But I don't have the magnifying glass, and even zooming in, I cannot read that. Also, that says Volume 1 at the bottom, rather than Volume 5. Yeah, that's weird. Page 13 says Volume 1 rather than Volume 5. Is that a typo? Or is the sweepstakes in every volume? This is the only time I've seen it or something? I don't know. Word from the editor. Alright. That is useful for me to think about the fact that it's good to draw dead ends to bring them out of the draft pool. I had not thought that through explicitly before, and I think that could improve my drafting strategy, so I appreciate that very much. Good job, library. And the bookshop is here. I happen to have a sale going on because I saw the sale in the observatory. So, can I purchase any new books? Realm and Rune. We've seen portions of this book. I could buy this now. Alright, let's, is there any money lying around in here by any chance? No, the shops never have any other, like, free stuff in them. I seem to recall reading. And I've already closed off most of my thing, and I have to walk through the chapel to, like, go back and forth anywhere. What's the chances I can find some more money quickly to get one of the more expensive books? Or should I just take the Curse of the Black Bridge? Why don't I just take the Curse of the Black Bridge, and there's a possibility that I could come back with more money for Realm and Rune later. So that way at least we'll be able to take advantage of the library again the next time we happen to be able to draft it. And now my focus should be on trying to get money. Otherwise, this is going poorly, and so I don't think that there's a whole lot else that's going to happen on this run. But we got some water pumped out of the reservoir, and that was my main goal. So I'm pretty pleased by that. Lab, I do like the experimental house features as well. I'm running low on steps, but I think I will take the lab just to see if we can run an experiment that'll be particularly profitable. What experiments could we line up today? Continue with the experiment. Each time you unlock or bypass a security door, each time you eat an apple, when you draft a red room, lose 5 steps and gain gold, gain a key, set your steps. Oh, set your steps to 40 would be really good on today's day with the hovel. Draft a red room. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So if I draft a red room, I get 40 steps. And so that would keep us walking. And that also means I can pay step prices drafting rooms. Is there any money or any... Oh, there's battery pack here. In case that is useful. We'll shove it in our pockets. Someday I'll get boiler power into here, but today is unlikely to be that day. It does run out of this room, so if the boiler room were here, we would take it. Commissary of other things I want to buy, so spare bedroom sounds good. Okay, I'm at 23 steps. Secret passage would bring me down to 20, but then I could draw a red room after it, and then that'll bring me back up to 40 with my experiment, as I understand it. So, we'll see if we get like the archives or the dark room or what we get over here. Gymnasium, lose 2 steps. I could definitely lose 2 steps if I'm getting 40. And that's got some decent places to go. Oh, I could drop the aquarium. Just to go ahead and get it out of the pool, and it's like any color. Either one is only going to give me the right elbow, basically. Yeah, I'll take the aquarium for now, sure. Hello, fishies. Wow, I drafted security. There's 4 keys and a broken lever that I've somehow left behind. That's pretty bad, actually. Drafting studio is another one that I basically can't pass up. Dinner bell. Alright, there's a compass, in case that becomes useful to us. Here is the layout of the Great Hall. I would need kind of the rightmost door facing on either of them to get through. So, I guess if I want to get all the classrooms this power, we'll just kind of stack and you'll be able to like redraw and redraw and redraw as you collect more classrooms. So it could be good to get that without having to get the schoolhouse on the outer whatever. Yeah, I do worry about cluttering up my drafting deck with too much stuff, but I do think that that could be useful someday. So we'll go ahead and add classroom permanently to the pool. Alright, and speak of the devil, I'm just kind of curious to try out how this works. So if I have a classroom, and another thing, I was thinking it might be useful to note the positions of where everybody was sitting, because it's like on a 4x4 grid. So Benny is down here in the 3rd column, bottom row. Freddy and who was this? RG. We're up here. And Caleb's over here. Here's a piece of fruit. I might need the steps if I don't draft a red room. So we'll take that. And... oh, locked. I'm out of keys. Apparently there's 4 keys somewhere in the estate. I don't know where. Not sure that we're going to make it back to the bookshop even if I do draft a red room. It's a possibility. I'll keep walking. Alright, maybe it's only when you're inside the classroom that you get the redrawing power, because I just have my dice redrawing power over here apparently. I think I will redraw. Just hope to get lucky with something. And whenever items would be spread, they're placed over here instead. I did already get the locker room, which spread keys. Will that move the keys here, or would it only do it if I already have the conference room and need to get the conference room early? I think I'm going to actually take this just to learn that information. So did the 4 keys spread throughout the house from the locker room get moved in here? It doesn't look like they did, so I think I've learned that if you're going to draft a conference room, you should do it early before you run into a room that's going to be doing spreading work. And then you will be able to return to the conference room later to have all the items in one location. Okay, I think I can draft one more room before I run out of steps. I'll give it a shot. Yeah, I don't think anything can matter. I'll walk into the walk-in closet and just see what we happen to stumble across here. Oh, vault key. Safe deposit box. Was that number 304, I think it said? But I don't have enough steps to get anywhere, so none of this is going to matter. Yeah, and I don't have enough money to try to purchase another book. Okay, well, at least we purchased a book today. And I learned something about the conference room that I'll have to add to my notes, but I've run out of steps. Well, on the next day, I've drafted the library. So now I can do the Curse of the Black Bridge. That sounds like a good one to do. And in the bookshop, I got off the library. I can purchase Realm and Rune, so I'll have that one ready to go. So good things are happening in that regard. So next to the chair in the nook, there can be a key. In grade 2 of the classroom, it's also set up in a 4x4. Rob is here, second on the right. Fomric is here at the top of the second column. Penelope is second on the left. And Jenny is 3-3. So I've got a couple of classrooms, so that means that I would be able to redraw a couple of times. And so it says I've got 4 redraws total, because I guess I've got 4 architectural whatevers. I'm hoping to find the ballroom, because classrooms cost gems, and if I get the ballroom, then I can keep walking through it to get the gems back. So let's do some redrawing and see if perchance the ballroom comes around. I guess the parlor could give me some gems right now. That's not a bad idea. But the ballroom would be better, but having the gems now would give me 2 more chances to draft a couple more classrooms, maybe. Assuming I can solve the parlor game. This box contains the gems. The blue box has a true statement. The empty boxes both have true statements. So if this were true, then this would have to be false. No, I think this can't be true. The empty boxes both have true statements. So if this were empty, it would have a true statement which says that it's not empty. So that would be a paradox, which means this cannot be true. So this is false. The blue box has a true statement. That cannot be true because we just proved that it's false. So these two are both false, which means this is true, which means the black box contains the gems. So give me 2 gems and let's keep the run going. And I do feel like they're disproportionately in the black box. Alright, so there's my 2 gems. And there's a coin over here in the corner. Metal detector has been very handy for me. I'm learning some more spots on the floor where keys might be dropped that are very easy to fail to notice. Chamber of Mirrors will really cut me off right now, so I guess we'll take the conference room. And yeah, so bit by bit, like I'm learning not only about drafting, but I'm also learning about each of the individual rooms and their little niceties. And yeah, I think in the long run, like, I will get better at drafting and have more ability to control the layout. Ah ha ha ha! Power hammer. I happen to have the secret garden key, question mark? Yes. It can only be drafted on the edges, and I currently don't have any doors to any edges, so it'd be kind of risky. Check it out here, but I want to bust through the wall of that. I still have 2 gems. The problem is my lack of doors. I can always check this back into the coat check, so even if this ends up kind of otherwise ending the run, let's take my power sledgehammer and see if I can retrieve, find my way out to be able to use the, just try to pick the lock. Alright, I've got plenty of keys. Get the secret garden and use power sledgehammer there. And the classroom will come in very handy here. This will give me a chance to re-see day grade 3. Grade 3, you could also interpret this as 4x4, with this being... yeah, I guess with this still being the front of the classroom. So, second column, we have Quinn over here. Or that was first column, second row. Second column, fourth row, we have Jacob. And in the top right corner, we have Cassandra L. Like, I'm imagining, like, that their names could, like, spell something out or something. There's holly decorations on this vase with the pretty flowers I just noticed. Okay, and I will have, like, infinite redraws practically in this classroom, which is pretty cool. So I can try to get, like, a 3-way hallway that gives me a couple of branches. Managed to pick the lock. So yeah, 5 redraws total. None of these are particularly good for me. We'll go ahead and pull this up. Vestibule costs too much, otherwise that would be good. Don't want another classroom right now. I want a double branching hallway, please. Here's the classroom again, because there's still so many in the drawing pool. There's the classroom again, because there's so many in the drawing pool. Another parlor could give me more gems, but it would cut off one of my lanes to where I'm going. So I'm going to redraw again. Surely there's another 3-way hallway. Here we go. Hallway, except for that only it's branching the wrong way. I wish I could rotate it. I don't draft the mailroom very often. I guess we're going to redraw again. Hope for the best. I can't afford to spend my last gem, I don't think. So I'll take the boudoir. Is there any chance if it requires a key that I can draft the secret garden off the top back edge of the estate and bust through the wall? I will give it a try. And I can get another gem out of the boudoir. It didn't occur to me until just now, despite the fact that I've done it a couple of times. So let's crack this open for 1 extra gem. Step count is still doing fine. I need to make sure that at the end of the day I return the power sledgehammer. The other place I wanted to use it was there was the secret garden, and the greenhouse was the other place that I'd seen bricks in the wall that looked like they could be broken. So special keys. Can I use the secret garden key here? It does not fit. That's what I thought. You have to be on the wings. So then I try to lockpick. It doesn't work. So then I'll try my normal key and try to get something that gets me to the right. Hallway would do it without spending any gems, so that's what I'm going to choose, and then hopefully we'll have a locked door here and I can secret garden it. Locked door. Please, please, please. Yes, special keys. Secret garden. We're going to get some new information. It doesn't fit. What? You lie. Am I not looking at the right spot? I'm on the wing. Maybe it can't be in the corner? It's possible it can't be in the corner. Did I try lockpicking? Okay, I can lockpick. And now I'm not sure what the right thing to do is. I get a bunch of redraws. This would give me... No, that would spend all my gems. This would give me gems. Classrooms are very popular, and there are going to be elbows in here. I just need to make sure I get another key lock that I can spend the secret garden in, because I should be able to draft it one to the south. And then... that's going to dead end me and end the run. So if it's going to dead end me and end the run... I guess I might as well spend my gems, and this will give me a redraw in case for some reason I can't use the secret garden key or something. I think that's the right thing. Also, we've never seen grade 4. Hold on. Grade 4, geography. Fen Castle Royal Museum, Colossus Arinda. Morning Bay, Arch Aries, Reddington and Mount Holly. Okay, so this is like a bigger map of Fen Aries. Araja, Arch Aries. No, the map is Fen Aries. Arch Aries is to the north. Araja is to the south. I already know this from some other books that I've read. It looks like some kind of water tower, maybe, or something. And Oris is, I guess, some kind of city or something. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. There's maps covering most of the alphabet. There's a gem on the desk here, so I should check the desks. Let's look at their geography lesson. Oh, it's all the cores and like the countries they belong to or something. Alright, rather than try to reason it out, identify each realm in the map below. I mean, I'm going to get the book that's going to explain it all next time I go to the library, I think. So maybe that doesn't matter. Because I think I bought Realms and Runes. Or did I buy the other one? In any case, I'll be able to take screenshots of all of these. And so I will use the screenshots to mark down who is sitting where in what I presume is another 4x4 grid and figure out the corresponding realm-a-majiggers. Kathleen. I hope this isn't a political statement. Alright. And then let's look at the maps. Can I pull in the pull ring? I cannot. This is extremely detailed. Can I click on it? Yes. Oh, and I have a magnifying glass. How convenient. So, the South Key. There's like an 8 there. Oh, wow. And there's like some... This could also be interpreted as a sigil. In the middle, we've got the sun down here. Oh, look at these figures carrying the 3 billiard room boxes. No, there's 3 more of them here. There's like possibly some writing. 46 rot. 58. 6 and 8 degrees. 90 degrees. There's like all kinds of detail here. 1, 5, 3, 8, 2, 6, 4. Can't tell if there's a 7 there or not. These look like stepping stones around to something. The Sacred Circle, it's called. Okay. I feel like most information in this game comes from multiple locations, so there's different possible paths to get it all. The Great Tress. Koriaka. Morajai. Morajai was also the name of the little box game that we played. So we have the North Circle, and we've got a bunch of... hike up the mountain, and then a bunch of these orange realm symbols. Okay. This was called Orisphere, 3rd edition or something? 3rd era. Right, because there's different eras. These like bats on chains? And a blind girl. Well, this one's like a vulture. Holding a vulture and a bat? Like, there's so much potential information here. It never ends. The spiral in the woman's room. It's the planets in a weird order. And stars. And the sun at the center. It never ends. I wonder if the number of dots here is something like the number of days, or like has something to do with the observatory and the stars, or the number of days of the today's like day 38 or whatever, the spiral of stars. It's probably an observatory thing. And then there's trees over here. There's 2 towers with people going down a path through the orchard, possibly. Yeah, there's so much detail here. Okay. That's pretty crazy. What about this other one? Did I look at the desk yet? The desk will just have the ungraded geography worksheet. Or unmarked up. Etsphere. Arindia. Okay. Arindia Aries, Nuance, Araja, Arch Aries. Yeah, okay. So Etsphere, Third Era. So over here. Interesting. The heart's in the center. Yeah, and here's like all the realm symbols or whatever. Up here, we have a bunch of people. So the guy in the Pope hat is pictured in the chapel. There's like a statue to him. And then looks like indigenous peoples over here from like some other country, maybe. The rogue moon, the devoted moon. So this Earth has 2 moons. I mean, I'm calling it an Earth, like the planet that we're on or something. The devoted circle was the name of that. Here's a picture with like a king and children and a bunch of people walking up steps or something to like be near him. The Three of Tides. Isle of Orsi. So yeah, there's a lot of geography going on here. And there's like a ... dash thing. Okay, we got a... Okay, does he have a name? This is... Or is that the one I just learned its name? In any case, it's one of the angels. It's the one with the top hat and the broomy thing. In Eclipse. In Eclipse was the name of the ballroom dance where... Oh, and there's Is Eclipse. So there's Is Eclipse and In Eclipse. Like south and north. Like there's 2 different moons? 2 different moon pendants, possibly? The ballroom dance. Did the sun just open its eyes and close its eyes? Am I making that up? In the ballroom, I think either my mother or my grandmother. Okay, and here's the Ho angel. Mother and grandmother, mother and father or whatever, like were pictured in the dance at the In Eclipse or whatever, like their first dance or something. I don't remember. Fenmora, Vea, Mamora, Danja, and Mora. Okay, those might be the same planets that were pictured on the previous thing, with the sun at the center. They're at different distances out, but this could also be interpreted as a sigil, potentially. Okay, the outer circle. Got a person looking through a telescope. And there's a guy here with drafting plans for the observatory. And there's an observatory kind of geosphere kind of thing or something. Guy looking through a microscope. And a woman flying a lead balloon kite on a string. The Seeker of Signs. Okay, what do we have in terms down here? Edgesea. Like, at some point, are we going to gain access to just, like, the full-size Iraja? I saw... What does this one say? Orsi. So there's Edgesea and Orsi. Which are probably, like, a south and north kind of designation in the language or something. Insi. Okay, there's north. East and west. And so Insi and Izzy are probably north and south. So Orsi... And where was it? Over here. Edgesea are probably east and west, I'm guessing. But yeah, I need like, 4,000 by 4,000 images of all these to take a better look. okay. Is that everything I need to do in the classroom? This was about geography. It's basically the sigil realm kind of stuff. And then I was trying to draft the secret garden or one of the other green rooms that I want to bust through, like the greenhouse, because I'm currently holding... Look at my inventory, it's pretty much full. I had a treasure map too. Can I inspect where the treasure map goes? Over there, I won't be able to get there. Okay, I have a secret garden key. Special keys. Give me the secret garden key, I'm busting out of here. We're getting out of this dump. I've had enough. I hear the beeps. I apparently walked past whatever it was. Oh, look at this. It's so tiny. It was a coin. In the grass, it had a different looking shape, I guess, because it was like partially covered by the grass. Okay, we'll go over to the secret garden spot in a second. But the spot I really want to see is here. Yes, power sledgehammer. I've broken it open and there's another twisty thing. What is this going to do? Oh, it allows me to turn the top arrow. Why would I do that? Presumably to break out of this side. So this one opened a secret over here. I'm over here, so the secret's going to be on the green side. So I want everything pointing towards Greenerton. So I need it to spin one more time. Okay, now it's pointing to the green side. I'm just going off of my own intuition in terms of how I think this puzzle's going to go. And then this one needs to spin 3 times. Okay, of course they made it so they all have to spin 3 times. It's the most tedious possible thing. Game likes to waste your time a little bit like that, but what you gonna do? Complain about it on camera. That's what I'm gonna do. Alright, spinny, spinny, spin, spin. It rotated this. And now there's the same sigil pattern that I've seen downstairs. But I don't think it had the dots on the outside, and those are meaningful. So... And I might want to have all the arrows pointing in all the different directions. Now that I've done that. I don't think I can interact with this, right? Yeah, I think this is informational. I have to read information off of that. So now I'm going to rotate them all again. I'll pull the lever even though it's not going to matter. Alright, so when I turn them all back there, it does bring it back to where the lever is. I'll pull the lever for the fun of it. And then I'll try rotating it in the other directions, because I guess all 4 directions might have something meaningful. But there's one side of the antechamber getting opened that I can't possibly get to today, as far as I know. Okay, so how about this side? If they all face north, I guess I can write down like the facing information on this as well. So west was the antechamber, south was the thingy, north is a moon pendant picture sign thing, which is this the inn? Yeah, this was the inn as opposed to the is, if I recall correctly. And so now we'll rotate them all again so that they all face east, and we'll see what east brings us. I am not apparently busting out to the back side of the property as I was hoping, but nevertheless, I'm sure this is going to be important in the long run. And so... Oh, you can get both left and right poles from the secret garden, depending upon which way you swing them. And I wonder... I think the bricks might stay broken. So I'll check my power sledgehammer back in case I need it again. But I think this might stay open, and so now anytime in the future when I draft the secret garden, I presumably will be able to open either side of the... Oh, I can even go into the antechamber and pick up a key. Do I want to check the Not really. Oh, and the secret garden still has a south exit? Okay, I have another exit I can take advantage of. I forgot about that. I think I'd prefer to have the sledgehammer to use on the greenhouse rather than have another basement key that I don't need yet. I feel like if I really want to, I could get basement keys without too much trouble. So... yeah, Kennel would bring us through to another room. Wandering currency is not going to really help me. Grade 5 classroom, just to like finish off the day before I go back to coat check. Sure. Actually, hold on. I can draft another room if I go through the antechamber out to the other spot. I might be able to draft 2 more classrooms. In which case, do I want the kennel just to get another room? I mean, I don't really need the kennel. I'll get the classroom now. We'll check out grade 5. So grade 5 is about art. Okay. Just looking at this, I don't think there's anything meaningful there. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V. Okay, it seems like the banner's on the top of the same. We have the 4x4 layout again at 2-2. We have Josh. Draw 2 things that share all but 1 letter of their name. And he got a tooth and a tooth. Alrighty. So Josh is at 2-2. Over here at 3-3, we have Laura A, who did an acorn, and that share all but... oh, just corn. Haha. I'm smart. I can figure these things out. And at 4-4, we have Gregory, who did a robot and a root. That is very clever. Why do you only get a B? What's wrong with Gregory? I think Gregory got cheated in terms of his grade on this art project. Okay, I don't see any other things on the desks. And I don't think that this is informational. Alright. Is there anything... did I check the drawers to see if I can interact with the teacher desk drawers? I don't think I have been able to in other rooms. I don't think I can even reach around over there to get to it. But I guess this is kind of like a better look at just like all of the paintings that exist in the world. That's pretty funny. I guess that one was a house at some point. Yeah, I think I've witnessed all these paintings many, many times. Is there anything else I need to get out of here? I don't think so. Oh man, video editing Brian is going to have so much work today. Okay. I do want to go back to coat check, and I do want to go through the ante room and keep on drafting. I'm going to go back to coat check first. I still have 69 steps. Nice. So, don't need to worry about that. Am I going the right way? To get back to coat check? Yes. Alright, so we'll go through here. Oh! This is the conference room. Secret garden spreads fruit. All the spread items get put in the conference room. This is the first time I've had a chance to witness the conference room doing its thing. Oh my gosh, I got so many steps. Alright. I might just go on a walking tour of everything or something. Okay. Let's check item of the... next. Power hammer. Alright. And... you're checking, you like get a 3-digit ticket number that I presume is not informational, but in this game, who knows? Okay, so now I'm going to walk through the antechamber. I guess I'll pick up the key, like just in case some miracle happens that I could use the basement key for. Chugga chugga chugga. Thanks. Remind me what this says. To continue up, you must go down. Yeah, because we have to open this, which is the any moon kind of thing. So, over here, special keys. You can't use the basement key here, right? It's going to say this key does not fit. Alright. Can I lockpick? Can't pick the lock. I still have 3 keys. We'll do this. We'll see if we can draft some more classrooms. Classrooms cost whatevers. So I best take the pantry right now and hope that I can pick up some extra gems somehow, somewhere. Gems being the thing that classrooms cost. Go ahead and grab this stuff. Metal detector not going off for anything else. Let's try to lockpick. Hey, look, a classroom. It's going to go the wrong way and end the run, or I could use the chapel and try to get some more chances. So I'll use the chapel and try to get some more chances. Sometimes you find gems inside the chapel. I don't really care about the money. Metal detector not going off. Alright, so we'll go this way. And can't pick the lock, so we'll spend a key. And parlor would give me gems, but will dead end me a fair bit. Dark room, I'll be able to tell which one is a classroom just by its drafting cost, probably. And its likelihood of being in there. So I'm going to go ahead and take that. So we have 2 different chances. I do have a key card on me. So I'll be able to do this. And both of these have a gem requirement of 1. And so I'm not sure which one might be the classroom. I feel like classroom would be in the middle. Not sure why I think that. Hey, look, it's a classroom. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Grade 6. Something beeped. History is penned by the victors. There's money. Okay. Harder to imagine it as a 4x4 desk this time around. Noah W. History worksheet. Okay, so we're learning some history here. Once again, I'll be able to take screenshots and work out all of the true answers on my own by putting together all of these scores. Richard R. Cole Forja. Alright. Might as well go eat some fruit off the desk since I'm a fruit-eating maniac today. With 85 steps left. If I stand here, does it block out the light? It does not. Over here we have Chris, who only got 3 of the 6 questions correct. And that's everything. Chris was in the upper right. We might still be able to interpret this as a 4x4 somehow. Well, the way the desks are pushed around over here, I don't think so. Okay. What did that say? Next slide. There's multiple slides. I'm glad I accidentally walked up to the slide projector. That wouldn't have even occurred to me. Okay, so the first slide... Oh, and it does, if I'm standing close to it, the light does weird things. So standing far away, what am I looking at? Hold on. If I stand on this side? I have to be standing in the back for the light to have any effect. Like, I have no idea what I'm looking at here. Maybe the slide, there isn't a slide yet. So next slide. Okay, yeah, there hadn't been a slide yet. Okay. So we have red and black fighting a war, which speaks to the politics of today, perhaps. Then we have wounded soldiers, but otherwise victory for red, and people are tossing things, hats in the sky or something, maybe? I'm not sure if I'm interpreting this correctly. Also, I forgot to make sure that the numbers all look the same. I haven't looked at the colors to see like if it always goes like green, red, blue, red, green, blue, red, blue on the numbers or different things, which also could be meaningful. Like if you're not taking video and like screenshots of everything in this game, like I'm not sure how you'd be able to solve all the things it seems to be asking you to do. Okay, we've inspected this slide. Next slide. So now, I think I have to look closer at this one. So there's a king with a long red cape being carried by 2 people who's going to the red throne or whatever. In a decorative room that may or may not have sigilly things going on in the background. Next slide, please. Then we've got people... Are they building a railroad? They have axes. I do think it might be a railroad. So, transportation. He's got a red scarf-a-majigger. Then we have a very impressive, there's fireworks, there's a dirigible, there's one of the angels. I can't quite tell from here. If I stand here, I think it's the kingly angel that's out in front, which would kind of make sense with like the scepter and the crown. That might be like Red Guard kind of stuff. Something, something. Okay, and so those were all the pictures. And so if I look a little closer, we have fighting between red and black. I don't think there's other information to be gained there. I didn't look very closely at this one. So yeah, I do think it's people tossing hats in the air. So suggesting victory came, but at a huge cost. Okay, is there anything else to do in this room? The red flag is over here. I forgot to notice where the red flags were in some of the other rooms, but it's fine. Okay, and this is my only... I might be able to draft the rest of the classrooms, but I don't have any more gems is the problem. So... Can't use my basement key. I'll use my last key. And I don't even know what I'm hoping for at this point. I do get 8 chances to redraw. None of these are useful to me, so let's redraw. Oh, look, the classroom pens. It shows you how many architectural drawing rooms you have. Or the rooms with the little compass in the corner. Indoor nursery is an indoor nursery, and so it doesn't have the breakable walls for sure. Bedrooms going the wrong way, corridors going the wrong way, so I definitely don't want any of these. Classroom, I would love to, but I don't have enough gems at this point. I can draft one more room to the north. That's what I should have done. I should have gone to the north. I'm such a dummy. And see if I could get the bedroom or a parlor or something to get some more gems before I kept drafting. Should have gone north of the dark room. Okay. That was a mistake by me. Many more will be made, I'm sure. Parlor would give me more gems and keep the run going. Okay, let's make sure we do the parlor thing correctly. Gems are in the black box. The gems are in the white box. One of these two is lying. Only one box displays a true statement. Well, if this were true, one of the others would be true, which means this would be false. So this is false. One of these two is true. If it's the gems in the black box, or the gems in the white box. I don't know how to differentiate this, because it seems like it could be true, false, false, in which case they're in the black box, or it could be true, false. This can't also be false. Only one box displays a true statement would be true. I need two things to be false. Okay, hold on. So I did my reasoning wrong. So if the gems are in the black box, that's true. Only one box displays a true statement is false, then gems would be in the white box. So it can't be in the black box. So if the gems are in the white box, that's true. The gems are there. This would be false. Gems are in the black box. This would be both false and true. If it's false, it's true, and if it's true, it's false, and I end up in a paradox. Hold on. Come on, brain. We need these gems desperately to draft classrooms. Only one box displays a true statement. This has to be false. Because if it's true... Oh no, what if this is true? Which means both of these are false. It's not in the black box. It's not in the white box, which means it's in the blue box. There we go. Only one box displays a true statement is true. This is false. This is false. Therefore, the gems must be in the blue box. We solved it. These are getting tricky. That's the type that I might have screwed up if I wasn't doing it on camera, I think. Also, I should take a peek to make sure there's nothing on the other end of the room. But we have 2 more gems. We might be able to draft 2 more classrooms if we're super lucky. I don't see a coupon book lying around or anything exciting happening back here. The parlor went the wrong turn. I didn't realize that. I thought I was still going to be able to draft to the south. Can I get to the foundation via... No, I don't think so. I don't think I have a way to get underground. Because I don't have access to the tomb, and I've put some water in the fountain. And I guess I'll walk down there to check. So from the dark room, if we go north... try to lockpick. I have a gem. Let's hope that this might be a classroom, question mark? It is not. It's the lab. I might be able to set up an experiment that somehow causes me to gain sentience. I don't know what it could possibly gain. Experimental setup. Let's do an experiment. Find trash while digging. Each bedroom you draft. When you draft a shot. Okay, I can't do any more drafting. So if you find trash while digging, permanently add 1 gold to your allowance. We'll go ahead and set that up. I don't think I have a shovel. But if by some miracle I can obtain one, then maybe we can do something with that. So do I have a shovel? I do not have a shovel. And I don't see any other objects in here. Remind me, is this the cooling temperature of water? Yeah. Oh! Lab technician, Randolph W. No, it's Randolph M. I felt like I saw an RW in the classroom at some point. Video editing, Brian. Here's another thing to take a screenshot of, because that's a name that I don't have on my list of all the people that exist in this world document. I should show off my notes at some point. Kimberly Thompson, we know all about. I already did my coat checking. I don't have enough money to buy something else in the bookshop. I don't have a way to get to the classroom. I have a gazillion steps and a gazillion items. But I really can't do anything with them today, I don't think. I guess I might as well go downstairs and double check that the fountain, since it's not all the way pumped out, means I can't get to the bottom. I guess I'll check that. And just at a glance, I think the alphabets are all in the same colors in the classroom. So sure enough, there's a puddle of water here at the bottom of the fountain. That's to be expected. Since we drafted so many classrooms, I'm also curious just to go back to the schoolhouse over here and see if anything has changed. I don't think it would unless I get all 8. And even then, I'm not sure that anything would change, but we'll go take a look. Alright, I didn't see any changes. Is it worth running out my steps just so that I get, like, the best possible step count? I can imagine there being, like, an achievement or something for using, like, a ridiculous number of steps. Is there anything I need to do on the outside? I don't think so. I can just go back and forth. Do I have a gymnasium that's lit up by any chance? I do not. I'll just go back and forth between a couple of rooms to run out my step count for fun. Alright, this actually is pretty efficient for running out my step count. We're almost there. Da-da-da! 0. Call it a day. Alright. I had a perplexing campus with all my classrooms. Steps taken, 143. 12 items found. Crazy. Alright, with that, I'm going to say that I hope as always that you all are having a great day, and I'll see you again soon with more blueprints.